Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining if you're new. Today I'm going to be doing a January recap. I haven't done monthly recaps ever before, but I thought I could start doing them. Kind of showing you, well actually, I thought about breaking it down into a few categories, being what I bought. So I have 3 purchases that I'm allowed to make a month. I thought I could go over those with you. I also thought I could go over like replacements that I bought, anything that ran out or whatever, what I tried. So if I tried anything new, whether that be the things that I bought or things that I had previously bought that I just tried like newly this month, what I lusted after, what I wanted to buy, things that really tempted me this month, whether or not probably realistically releases that came out this month or the end of the previous month, or if something came back in stock, you know, whatever. And I also thought I could go over what I loved. So if there was anything that I was like really loving on, sometimes, you know, you kind of rediscover specific products and they like really stand out to you again and you just like use them over and over. Things like that. So let's just get into it. So first, what I bought, I've done videos on these already. Like January 2nd or whatever, I bought 2 Blend Bunny palettes. So I bought the Search palette. I've done a first impressions with this. I'll link it in the cards and in the description box. I will do a 3 looks 1 palette with both of these. They're coming eventually. And I also got the Dollhouse palette. I've only used both of these once, so I can only speak, you know, very briefly on my limited experience with them, but I really loved them. Like truly, they are really beautiful. And if you were thinking of purchasing from Blend Bunny or wondering if they were worth the hype, I honestly think they kind of are. I do like the shimmers in the Dollhouse palette more than the shimmers in the Surge palette, but like I said, only use them once each, so more to report on that. The next 2 things that I purchased in February are like on their way to me or haven't arrived yet. The second thing is I did buy the As Above So Below collection in collaboration with Monica Jones on Instagram, and Bizarra Volta, I think is her Instagram handle. I'll put their handles here. I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't have I had a like Visa gift card for $100, so I used that towards the bundle because it was quite expensive. It was like $200 or something, so I did knock $100 off of that. Thank you to my mom's boyfriend. And I'm so excited to receive that in the mail. I have been saying for all of 2021 that I wanted to get another or get more from Shine by SD. I cannot wait. It looks so beautiful. And I also made an order from Fenty. I got 2 things. I got the Fussy Heat lip gloss because it was on sale, and then I got the Chills highlighter on sale for $14. I have wanted this highlighter forever, since it basically came out, and I've almost bought it full price so many times, but some things held me back, and I saw that it was on sale for $14 and I was like, abso-fucking-lutely, that is a steal of a deal. That's like Marshall, like TJ Maxx pricing. And I felt like I couldn't say no, so I didn't. I said yes. But that is also on its way to me. I bought that towards the end of January, so it hasn't arrived to me yet. And those are the 3 purchases that I made this month that were like non-replacement purchases, basically. Don't regret them. Very excited about all of those things. Replacement wise, I bought a new Freck because I ran out, so not really a lot to say on that. This is like the 3rd tube of Freck that I've bought. I also bought a new mattifying primer because the current one that I'm using is almost out, and this was on sale when I was replacing Freck for like $12. This is the Huda Beauty Matte Perfection Pre-Makeup Base. So I was like, you know what? let me just try it, but I haven't opened this yet because I'm just waiting to run out of the mattifying primer that I have, or that I'm using right now. So I'll report back on this in February. And I also replaced my NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. Again, this is like my go-to. Just so happened that Freck and this ran out at the same time, which was super fucking annoying, but alas. I ran out of brow gel. So I bought the Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt Gel Mascara. I've only used this a couple of times so far. I'm wearing it today. I ran out of eyeliner and I was going to buy the next one, but it was out of stock. It always is. So I ended up buying the Maybelline Hyper Easy Brush Tip Liner. And I've really been enjoying this. I'm actually surprised by how much I like it. It's easy to use, it's black, it's opaque, it has a felt tip, which I like. It's a little bit stiff, but it's still like pretty easy to handle. It's matte, like honestly, A++. Like I don't really hear anyone talk about this that much, and I really think it's a good affordable liner option. Setting spray. I ran out of my setting spray and I decided to, I go through phases where I decide that I want to have a dewy setting spray, and this was one of those phases. So I bought the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist, and I really like it quite a lot. It's not super dewy, so if you like something that's like really dewy, this might not be for you, but I feel like it just adds a little bit of life to your skin without making it feel oily or greasy. It's a little bit like maybe like a step up from a totally neutral like makeup setting. My girlfriend's making lunch, sorry about that noise, but it's maybe a little bit of a step up from like a neutral spray that doesn't really affect your makeup finish at all. But I've been really enjoying that quite a lot. And I also repurchased my cleansing balm. I just repurchased the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. I was gonna try something new, but I kind of just ran out, and I had to go run out last minute. It's like $10. It's quite affordable and it works really well. So if you're looking for a cleansing balm that is effective and cheap, the e.l.f. one is quite good. And I also repurchased my Maybelline Fit Me concealer because I ran out, and this is kind of one that I always have on hand because it's kind of just like a go-to easy concealer to reach for. I bet you next month, like February, there's gonna be like nothing that I have to buy for replacements. I feel like all the time, all the stuff that I have to replace is just like all lumped together at one time. And then I go through months where I don't have to buy any replacements. So it may seem like a lot. Maybe yes, it does. Maybe not. Maybe yes, it does. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. But anyway, that's, that's what happened. In terms of what I tried, so I've gone over everything that I've tried from like replacements and whatever that I bought this month. Otherwise though, I tried a couple new palettes in Get Ready With Me's and First Impressions. So I tried the Melt Amor y Mariposa palette. This was their holiday release this year. I've only used it once. Again, I will have a 3 looks 1 palette coming with this palette, video coming with this palette, you know what I mean, soon. But as far as I could tell, shimmer formula improved. I feel like good, surprisingly good shimmers for Melt. Not amazing, but good. Their bar is low for Melt and shimmers, but mattes, beautiful mattes as per usual. Again though, I've only used it one time. Oh, I also forgot to bring this out. Where is it? Here it is. As well, in that video, I also tried the Melt Monarca blush palette. Both of these were gifts for Christmas. I was so kindly gifted these by my mother. I made it seem as if Melt gifted these to me. Absolutely not. Melt doesn't know who I am. Again, I've only used this floor shade from this blush palette, but I really liked it. I love the color of it. The formula is just like good. It's not really like hasn't amazed me so far, but as well I've only used this. I've used that a couple times, but only that one floor shade. I also was gifted the Natasha Denona Gold palette for Christmas. I know I was very spoiled this year, and I tried this in a Get Ready With Me. Only used it once, but you can't buy it anyway. So does it really matter what I think of it? Probably not. I did enjoy it. This is the second Natasha Denona palette that I have. I just still don't know. I do really enjoy Natasha Denona, but it doesn't hold the same special place in my heart, I feel like, as Pat McGrath's shadows do. That's kind of how I feel about that. But really, really pretty though. Although I do want to, like, I don't really feel like I can give a concise opinion or like concrete opinion until I've actually used it more. I also used the BH Cosmetics Passion in Paris palette for the first time this month. I did a Get Ready With Me. All the stuff that I used, I'll link it in the description box below if I don't link it in the cards. And I have been loving BH's formula this year, and I absolutely love this palette. It is such a pretty color story, and I've been so impressed with their shadow formula. Rip. Absolutely rip to them. I also used for the first time the BH Blueberry Muffin palette. Again, same thoughts as the Passion in Paris. Really impressed. And I'm so excited to use more of the BH palettes that I binge bought in November and December. How about let's do what I loved before, what tempted me, because that feels like it makes more sense to me. So this month I used the Book of Magic palette a ton from Beauty Bay. Sometimes I do, not like official focus palettes, but I like just kind of pick a palette that I want to use in my collection, and like maybe I'll use every shade, or I'll do like a week of looks or something like that. That's kind of how I tend to rotate through my palettes. Anyway, I've been using this palette a ton. Let me go through some of the looks that I've done using this palette this month. Giovanna does this, and I absolutely love when she does this. She's been doing this for her like bi-weekly makeup bag series that she's been doing on her channel. I'll link her down below as well as in the cards as well. And I've been absolutely loving it. Anytime I do makeup that's not for Instagram or YouTube, I'll put it up on my Instagram highlight. I have a highlight reel called Makeup of the Day. So if you want to like just see how I do my makeup on the regular, check it out. But that's where I'm going to be taking these pictures from. I did a neutral like warm look using the like bronzy shade, a pretty like full neutral look. I really like this look. I look like a pea head, but I used the shade Crystal with like the browns and the purples in this palette. I really was very happy with how that looked. I did a really bright like tealy turquoise look. That tealy turquoise shimmer in this palette is so beautiful. A purple look, another like tealy look with the silvery white all over my lid. I did a dark smoky blue look, and that's the most recent one that I've done. I also used the Kaleidos Escape Pod palette this month as well. One that I've really enjoyed diving back into, and I really enjoy this as a companion palette. These shimmers in here are so beautiful. I didn't actually document it, but I did for New Year's Eve. I did a look. I mean, we didn't do anything. We weren't allowed to, but I just did it for fun. A pink look using the shade Amaretto all over the lid. It was so pretty. But I did again, all purple look with Cosmic Cabaret all over the lid. I did a like warm and green, like a orange and green look using Tango, like the orange in my crease, and then using Galactic Gala, that like limey green all over my lid. I also did like a periwinkle look using Exoplanet in my crease, and then putting Space Oasis all over my lid, which I thought was so pretty. I did it like a blue in my crease as well. And then I did a pretty like neutral look with the brown, and then putting Saturnalia all over my lid, which was so pretty. I really liked this so much. So that's what I've been loving in terms of palettes this month. I also completely rediscovered ColourPop Flexitarian. I've been using this absolutely non-stop this month. I don't know why. I don't know what spurred my love for this again, but this has been an absolute favorite, and I've been reaching for it so much. Otherwise, I've been absolutely loving my Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Lip Color in the shade Raw Embrace. I lost this for so long, and I found it. I can't remember where I found this, but it is like my most perfect nude shade, like really nude shade to pair with lip liners. I love it. I probably have butthole lips right now. Maybe I'll reapply it, but I really do enjoy these Rimmel liquid lipsticks, and I think they're a really good affordable liquid lipstick formula that I feel like not a ton of people talk about. They smell really bad and they're a little bit drying, but I really actually think they're quite nice. And shockingly, I've been loving the Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jelly in the shade Magic. When I first put it on, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna love this because it's not super sticky or thick, which I typically like in a lip gloss because I feel like it lasts longer and has like a better shine and stuff. But I feel like the shine on this is really so pretty and it feels so nourishing. It feels almost like a lip treatment hybrid with a lip gloss, and I've been really just loving lip liner and gloss on in my daily life, so I can like pose for my make the day photo and then go back on my laptop. But I don't know, I've been really enjoying this, and I feel like I've made like a good dent in this, considering I only bought this halfway through December of 2021. So I would be very intrigued to try more Tower 28 lip glosses. Things that tempted me this month, there's been a number. Number one, Pat McGrath and Bridgerton collection. I mean, it's so beautiful. I just posted a video today, which will have been Tuesday, I believe, duping the vibes of that collection, and excuse my twitching eye. It is glorious and beautiful, and if I had all the money in the world, I would buy it. I love Pat McGrath and I love her special shades, and I'm sure it would be absolutely beautiful. Don't really give a fuck about Bridgerton, to be honest. My girlfriend and I watched it and I was not fussed by it, and I fucking hated Daphne. She was so annoying. I didn't care what happened to her at all, and I was like, please stop talking. So those are my thoughts on Bridgerton. But the palette and the highlight from the Bridgerton collection looks so beautiful. Again, can only buy so many things. What else tempted me? I wrote them down. Oh, the Menagerie restock. They restocked a ton of their palettes, and I've been so intrigued by Menagerie. My desire for their palettes has kind of waxed and waned like the moon. Oh my god. Has ebbed and flowed. And I was like, I've been lusting after the moon. I was gonna say whale song palette for a while. They're going to be discontinuing it, I believe, but I was just like, you know what? I can't spend that much money on palettes right now because I already have so many palettes that I have bought and haven't tried, and yada yada yada. The Kaleidos Gifted highlight has tempted me since it released. I keep wanting to order it and just not doing it, and hopefully one day we'll have it in my hands. But just like their Space Age Prophecy highlight that I do own, it looks so beautiful. The Beauty Bay palette, or the new one that's being released, I think I might buy it to, number one, like show you all, and number two, to have. Don't be a completionist like me, okay? It's a dangerous road to tread. But part of me does kind of want to buy it just to like have it. But we'll see. Anyway, that released on yesterday, which was the 31st. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's still available. I don't think it's sold out yet. Same with the Unearthly Cosmetics like Valentine's Day palette that's gonna release. Looks so pretty and might be a purchase perhaps for February. I don't know, but it is difficult for me to justify buying a pink and red palette because I do, oh my god, my lash. My lash is going rogue, so please try to ignore that. This look, by the way, I did film it. It will be coming in a Tara Moons video that I will be posting hopefully at the end of this week. I also thought that I could round out my monthly recaps talking about the books that I read. I love to read, but I don't always have time for it, but I'm going to really make an effort to incorporate time to read more books in 2022. Anyway, I read 3 books in January, which for me is good. Like, I honestly don't think, like, some people are crazy readers and they're just like banging books out, but 3 is like probably a realistic number for me to read. Can't imagine that I would read more than 3 unless they're like shorter. You know what I mean? The first book I read is Let Me In by John Ajvide Lindqvist. I don't know how to say that. They're a Swedish author, so apologies for that butchering. I did not look up the pronunciation. This is a pretty famous book. It's been made into a movie with like Chloe Grace Moretz. It was translated from Swedish. I picked this up like last year, like sometime long ago at, I think, Value Village or something. Fun fact, love vampires. I literally am obsessed with vampires. I love them. Any vampire book I always want to read. This was a very interesting iteration of vampire. I did enjoy it a good amount. I thought it was interesting, and the characters weren't very likable, which sometimes I like because I'm not really a character-driven reader. Very traumatic, though. Trigger warnings for like literally everything. Violence, gore, sexual assault, bad things. So if that is any way triggering for you or just something that you honestly don't want to encounter, would not recommend. But I did really enjoy this, actually. And yeah, like I said, like, interesting for a vampire novel. And I kind of like horror movies. I like things that are a little bit gory and gross, so I did appreciate that book for this. Obviously, I did not appreciate the sexual, like, assault, you know, scenes and things like that, but overall, I think I give it like an 8 or something. It was like pretty decent. I also read The Mothers by Britt Bennett, which is this is her first book. I want to say I have also read The Vanishing Half, which you read, but I was shocked at how much I loved this book. I was so into it, I just could not put it down, which is weird because I'm not a huge contemporary person. Like, I'll read them here and there, but it's not my favorite genre of book. But there's something about the way that Britt Bennett writes. It's just like reading a poem. It's so like lyrical and flowy, and I'm not always into that, but I just absolutely adore her writing style, and it just really weaved a character story that I was actually interested in. It just basically follows these people from a small town and kind of focuses on like their church, and not typically at all a book that I would like or that I would think that I would like, but I loved it. And I also read the book Unnatural Causes, The Life and Many Deaths of Britain's Top Forensic Pathologist by Dr. Richard Shepard. I'm really interested in forensic pathology. I think it's absolutely fascinating. So I was really excited to read this. I was a little bit disappointed. I really liked the parts that were like science-y, and when he was talking about doing post-mortems and stuff like that. But like, and talking about like the science of the body and that kind of thing, but there's a lot about his life that I didn't care about, frankly. And it's like almost semi like an autobiography in a way, and that part kind of ruined it for me, I'm not gonna lie. And I think he's obviously a forensic pathologist, so he's dealt with death, I think, and interacted with death in a way that most people don't. But I think it could be a little bit touchy on how he does talk a lot about respecting the dead and respecting, you know, the people that he's working on and all that stuff. But I think there's a borderline, almost blasé tone about just like death in general, just like, you know, when he's talking about cases and people who have passed and stuff like that. So I don't know that I would necessarily recommend it. And I think there are a lot of people, depending on your like life circumstance or history or anything like that, might take issue with like just kind of like the general tone that he has about death. But that also could just be a result of like, you know, his profession and stuff, considering he is a forensic pathologist. All right, and this wraps up my January recap. I enjoyed filming this, and I hope you did as well. Oh, I actually have 2 other things that I tried this month that I forgot to talk about. So just quickly before I end, when I made my Sephora order earlier in the month, I used my points for these 2 things. So this is the Pharmacy Feeling Good Hyaluronic Acid Plumping Serum. It's just a little 5 ml tube. Loved this. Texturally, it's so nice. I just don't think I would ever actually spend the full money, not in my financial situation currently right now, for a full size for that. And I'm not completely done this, but I also have been using the Pharmacy Ultra Hydrating Ceramide Moisturizer. And I, again, really love this. I think the texture is beautiful. I've been using it at night. It does faintly smell of honey, but not super strong. I do notice that it kind of pills a little bit when I put oil on top of it though, which is a little bit weird, but I don't necessarily feel like I need oil on top of this because it is quite moisturizing and hydrating, but it's just been so cold. My skin has been so dehydrated. Anyway, yeah, I just thought I would throw those in there. Anyway, this actually concludes the video. I really enjoyed filming this. I hope that you enjoyed watching. Let me know if you'd be interested in me continuing this. I think it's just kind of a nice way to check in month to month and, like, you know, check in with ourselves, check in with each other, check in with what I've been buying and trying and reading and all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it as always, and I would love to see you in my next video. Bye!